Alone we are fragile. Together we change history. 안녕하세요. 저는 Triune입니다. Hi, we're Triune. Hi, welcome to the Triune System vlog. We are Triune. We want to make this video to help you understand better what is Dissociative Identity Disorder, or DID. It's a little bit ending stigma and dispelling myth, but more than anything, we want you to be able to get to know us. So to begin, I'm already dissociating. We are a system of three. What is dissociative identity disorder? It used to be known as multiple personality disorder. The name has since been changed to dissociative identity disorder, or DID for short. And it's essentially when you have multiple personalities living in one body. For us, we found out a few years ago. It's been a learning process ever since. There are easy times and there are not so easy times. Fortunately for us, most people don't see a lot of the not so easy times, which is kind of why we're doing this. But how do you get DID? How is it formed? Well, it's formed in early childhood, usually before the age of 9 years old, when there is severe, extreme, or repeated trauma that can cause the mind to fracture. Think of it as you have fight and flight. This is the third option, where your brain splits off and puts all that trauma into another person. Well, that just happens to be our case. How many of us are there? I said there's three alters. I am Shinsori, co-host as well as primary protector of our system. I'm 25 years old. I'm female. My job is to basically be us most of the day. We've got a pretty good system in place. Hello, I'm Emmy. I am 29 years old. I'm also female, and my job in the system is as caretaker. My primary role is to make sure that everyone in the system has what they need. I literally take care of everyone around, and even those in our lives. I try my best to make sure that everyone always has what they need. Hi, I'm Ruby. I am kind of ageless. I would put myself probably around like 17 to 19, somewhere in there. I'm a trans female, but also kind of gender fluid. So I just generally define myself as I'm Ruby. And my job is as the gatekeeper in the system. I literally help everyone with taking care of blocking memories and making sure everyone follows the schedules and has the proper times and things like that. I do a lot of the upkeep work in the system, so I don't front as often. Now, we could go more in depth as to what DID is, but there's a lot of better videos out there. You can check out DissociaDID, Multiplicity&Me, EntropySystem. There are so many people that have done a much better job at explaining what DID is and the various alters there can be and things like that. And we don't necessarily want that to be the type of videos that we put out. We just want you to see more what living with DID is like and kind of help you understand that it's not something to be afraid of, and it's definitely not what you see in the movies. How did we come up with the name Triune? Well, our original host, Trevor, there was some events which we'll get into in a Meet the Alters video in future. We had played around with the idea of, at the time when I was going by the name Trinity, of a name that meant something akin to 3 in 1, and the name Triune popped into our head, and it just kind of worked. It kind of fit. Our system has gone through some name changes over the years, but Triune kind of stuck. So, as you probably may have guessed through the introduction, there are 3 women living in our body, and this body was born male. How does that work? Well, we do our best to try and upkeep appearances while we're out in public. Our previous host did make it pretty clear to people that he was gender fluid. It hasn't been too difficult, but yes, there are some differences with being a woman in a man's body. And we just kind of do our best to get by where we can. Are we always so open about DID? Generally, we try to be in our personal lives. There are some instances, like at work, where we don't really talk about it, just because there is a lot of stigma around it. There is a lot of confusion. There is a lot of things that the media have told people what DID is, and it's really not. And so we're kind of trying to do this to help change that, so that it won't be as weird or shocking or out there when someone you know says they have DID. Dissociative identity disorder could be as common as 1 to even 2% of the population. So even if you live in a somewhat smaller city, chances are there's a couple thousand people out there that have this disorder. And a lot of people don't even know it. We didn't know it for most of our lives. What happened to Trevor? We kind of had a disagreement about the steps that he wanted to take, but ultimately he chose integration, which is really only one of the 2 forms of treatment for this disorder. Integration, which is multiple parts, 1 or more, fusing together to become something new, or multiplicity, which is what we live with, where you have multiple pieces living and working together to kind of be whole. He chose integration because he couldn't cope with a lot of the things that he was living with. How does it work, playing the part? Very carefully. I've been around in the system for over 2 years, and so I've gotten pretty good at being our original host. I've gotten pretty good at playing him where I have to. Around close friends and things like that, I don't really keep up the appearance. I let my hair down, so to speak. For Emmy, you can usually tell she's very British, or Welsh, or both. Ruby, it's also somewhat easy to tell. So that's why I kind of take the brunt of the fronting when it comes to the public eye in our lives. But we want to know from you. What do you want to know? Questions, comments, anything like that helps. Sharing this video, because the more people see this, the more people talk about this disorder, the more we can begin to destigmatize it, and the more normal it will become. So I hope that you've enjoyed it. And please feel free to let us know in the comments of this video on our social medias. You can find us at Triune System on every social media platform, basically. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're working on getting a YouTube address with that same link, but hopefully the more of you that subscribe, the faster that can happen. You can let us know through our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, any of those, using the hashtag AskTriune. And we'll be happy to answer your questions, whatever they are. Please ask us anything. We want to help you understand this as much as possible. And we're fortunate in the place that we are, that we can talk about these things. And we've kind of gotten past a lot of traumas. Now, just because we are open about talking about our past, our history, our life, does not mean that it's okay to ask any person with DID what their trauma is like. Can people switch? What can I talk to someone else? That's not okay. That's actually very offensive to a lot of people. For us, we've kind of taken it in stride, and we've dealt with a lot of our past traumas already. So we're kind of at the point where we're okay with being bluntly honest about things. But don't assume that everyone is like us. In fact, every system is different. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, throw a thumbs up on it. It doesn't hurt your ability to continue watching videos. It doesn't make us appear in your streams anymore, but it does help us out a lot, and we really appreciate that. Please, please, please share this video around. The more people that watch it, the more we can destigmatize this disorder. And consider subscribing if you liked what we did. We want to do more in the future about everything: gaming, movies, reviews, K-pop videos, dance videos, yoga videos. The list goes on and on. Whatever you want, we're willing to try it. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Have fun and feel special. 안녕히 가세요. Bye. I realize now that I've put the script way too far away. This will be in the blooper reel. 안녕하세요. God, I'm so dissociated. Get it together. Hopefully the sound of the fridge doesn't come across in the video.